Hey, this is Al McGee with YETicket.com. Well, the film I'm going to talk about right now is called Sylvie's Love. And it's going to be on Amazon on the 23rd of December. So watch it because I highly recommend this film. Now, the director and writer, Eugene Ash, he did a great job with this film. And he really did some great casting with this film. But let me tell you a little bit about the film. First few scenes are set up in 1957 in New York City. And you see these jazz musicians, they playing, at a club. They're rehearsing and things like that. But you see this young sax player. He's playing. Robert is played by Nnamdi Asomugha. And, he's not making a lot of money at the club. And you know how that goes. There's a lot of clubs in New York at that time. So he's walking around. And he sees this record store. But in the record store, there's this young lady in there. And he sees her also. But there's a sign in the window that says, "Help Wanted." So he takes the sign. He goes inside, asks for the job. And her father, who owns the store, hires him because her father used to be a jazz musician himself. He played sax too. So Robert and Sylvie, well, they're working together, of course. The romance starts. But Sylvie is engaged and her fiance is in the war. They're in Korea. But they develop a relationship anyway. But now Sylvie, she watches a lot of television, but she wants to work in TV. And what does she do? Well, she goes and talks to someone in television there in New York and she gets a job. As a production assistant. And Robert, he's having a little problem with playing jazz because he's not making money. But then a lot of things starts to change for him. For example, this woman named the Countess, played by Gemma Kirk. Well, she becomes their manager, and now they're going to play all over the world. Now, Sylvie has a cousin named Mona, which is played by the great Asia Naomi King. Well, they're cousins, and they go around the parties and things like that. Now, that's one thing I like about this film is that they really brought me back to the days when people gave house parties, and you can see some musicians there. If not, you can see other people there, and they had food at these parties. The parties were free. Also, the record store. For myself, I spent countless times in a record store, trying to decide which record I'm going to get. And I remember how records used to be so precious. You come home with that record, you don't want to scratch it, you don't want to break it or anything like that. You treated it like it was a piece of diamond. They were not really expensive, but if you buy a lot of them like I did, they became expensive. But anyway, Sylvie's mom sees that her and Robert might be developing something, and she reminds Sylvie that she should not date anyone who's beneath her station. Now, her mom, she has a finishing school for young black women, and, that's the type of woman she is. But her dad, he never said anything about it. But, so as they go on, they develop a relationship and things like that. Man, I can tell you the whole thing about the whole movie, but let me tell you about the best thing about this movie I like was the dialogue. The dialogue in this film was very tight. And not only that, it had a certain cadence to it. If you listen to the dialogue and listen to the characters as they presented the dialogue, you can hear that they had a certain style and a certain rhythm to the dialogue. The only little thing I didn't like about the dialogue is that it was just too modern. And it just did not have the 50s and 60s feel of the language that people spoke at that time and the way they spoke it at that time. But this is 2020, so I feel that Eugene Ash, the director and writer, he did the best he could, and that's the only thing I just have about the dialogue, but I felt it was very good. And then in this film, then they switched to 1963, when there's some really big changes for everyone in this film. Now, let me talk about Tessa Thompson as an actress. In this film, if you don't watch her eyes, you're going to really miss a lot because she has some of the most dramatic eyes for an actress of today. You can tell when she's in love or she's angry or even when she's hungry with her eyes. I really like that. They're very hypnotic, and not only that, they're very telling too. With just her eyes, you can tell a lot about her through her eyes. And I feel that Nnamdi, as a young actor, man, this guy really caught the script on point to make it feel real and make you understand him, and to say, hey, I'm on your side, Robert. I believe in you, Robert, as you watch in the film. And not only that, the music throughout this film is some of the best music I've heard in a film in a while. The music is very good throughout this film. Sylvie's Love is a very good film to watch. Now, I'm not a big person who loves romantic stories, but this one I fell in love with. So I'm giving this 4 stars, 4 palm trees, whatever, for this film. And that's the high as I go anyway. So 4 palm trees for Sylvie's Love, which will be on Amazon on the 23rd of December. Like I said, the actors in this are very good. For example, you got Tone Bell. He plays Dickie Brewster. He's a guy, who head of the musical group in the film. You got MC Light in this film. And you also have Eva Longoria in this film too. And wait till you see what she does in this film. Sylvie's Love is a very great film to watch. And as you're watching it, you will maybe remember some of your days and what went on with love, and not only that, and records. Hey, I'm Al McGee with YETicket.com. Hey, thanks for watching my review. I'm really glad that you did. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day. Have a great life.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.